Hello everyone, today in this video I'm going to show you guys how to create your very first website on the VPS hosting service. So before we begin, I'm going to show you guys a quick comparison between shared and VPS hosting. So with shared, it's the most affordable web hosting service, so it's around $10 a month. It can be used by anyone and it's a really fast solution to host a few websites. So you have less than 10 websites, then it's the perfect bargain. But in the long run, websites will load really slowly. You have limited control over the server, so you can't really edit any important files, and everyone is using the same computer. So if you have that one bozo who slows down the websites, yours will too. But with VPS hosting, it is a bit difficult to set up for non-tech users, and it's a bit pricier. So it's around $15 to $20 a month. But here's the best part. But site pages load around 1 to 2 seconds compared to 4 to 6 seconds with shared. And no one will cause you to slow down. So because you have complete control over your own server. So no one else owns it but yourself. And you actually get to understand more of your needs in the future. So you actually get to understand if you actually need more CPU, more RAM, or more storage. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is purchase a domain. So let's go over to namecheap.com. And right here in the search bar, we actually get to type in the domain that we want and see if it's available. So I'm just going to choose a random domain such as johnbrown.xyz. As you can see on the top, it's actually available. And it's going to be a purchase of basically $1 every year. So we can just add that to the cart. If you view the cart. And two things. So right here, auto renewal, this is set by default. Same thing with WhoisGuard. So this is going to pay every year of your domain so you can attain ownership. And WhoisGuard is going to protect your private information from anyone who tries to grab it. So it's going to hide your home address, phone number, anything else that's considered private. So this is enabled by default and it's free forever. So definitely have this enabled before you purchase. So since we checked everything, so let's go over to confirm order. And just use any payment method that you have. Alright, so once that's done, you're going to head over to your username, hover over and click on dashboard. Click on domain list on the left hand sidebar. And you're going to see all your domains that you purchased. So obviously, since this is your first time, you're only going to see one. So for me, I've got John Brown. So head over to the right side and we're just click on manage. So below this, you want to click on name servers. So we're going to be pointing to the VPS server that we want. So we're going to actually be choosing one called, let's see, type it. It's going to be called DigitalOcean. So this is going to be our service provider to host all our websites. And this guy, it may look hard at first, but it's actually really easy in the long term. So so you just want to click on here and click on custom DNS, and we're just going to add the name servers. And again, this basically tells the domain that we're gonna be using DigitalOcean, and then you want to click on the green check mark. Cool, so it's set up. It does say you have to take 48 hours to take effect, but it takes around like 10 minutes, so it's not gonna be too much for it to work. Alright, so you want to create an account on DigitalOcean. So just go to the main web page and just sign up here, and it's going to ask you to input a payment method, so just do so. And afterwards, just sign in. And so here, this is basically the interface for DigitalOcean. So it might be a bit complicated for first-time users, but the only thing we're going to care about are the projects and the droplets. And for droplets, it's basically like it's a code name for like VPS, but they call it here droplet. So it's basically the same thing. So the first things we need to do is click on create a new project, and just you can name it anything you want. So I'm just typing in John Brown. It doesn't really matter. This is just to organize your projects, and just create projects and just skip for now. Alright, cool. So we created our first project. So now let's create the VPS, aka the droplet. So click on the green green bar in the top right corner, and we're going to click on droplets. And for the operating system, we're just going to choose CentOS version 7.5 or whichever latest version you have. But for me, it's 7.5. And for DigitalOcean, they actually charge you on the amount of resources you actually use. So it's definitely not going to be like $20 or $15 a month. I have the $20 per month plan, and I actually got charged $13 last month because I actually didn't really use the amount of resources that I actually had available. So if you definitely use less resources than you actually could use, you'll definitely get charged way less. So it's good. It's a good starting point to choose $20. And choose the server location that you're mostly near. So for me, I live in California, so it seems like the only option is San Francisco. And you don't have to worry about the rest right here. And the only thing we care about now is the host name. So for me, I usually just call it CentOS dot your domain, johnbrown.xyz. And this is actually not optional. This is actually mandatory, so it actually synchronizes with your domain. So so make sure you just type in whichever name you want, dot your domain. So this is the part that's actually mandatory. And for the tag, is just choose the project that you created. So for me, it was John Brown. And just click on create. And this might take around 10 to 20 seconds, so just be... Alright, so after your droplet's created, now you want to click on the red 3 dots right here. Click on add domain. And you want to just type in the domain that you actually have. So it was johnbrown.xyz. And make sure it's actually going to be registered on your droplet, which for us it was called johnbrown.xyz, and just add the domain. Alright, so cool. So once that's done, you want to head over to the projects and click on your project. And as you can see, now it's listed on your domain. So for you just want to click on the 3 dots for the domain and click on manage. Now here we're gonna tweak some stuff. So this might be a bit complicated because there's so many options. This definitely isn't for newcomers, but the only thing we're just gonna do is make sure the domain actually works. So when someone types in like www.johnbrown.com or just johnbrown.com, it will actually load the website. So you're just gonna click on A and then type in your domain. So it's actually already listed here, so we're just going to copy and paste. This is the domain, this is the IP address for our droplet. So it's we're just gonna type in www. Oh, it actually already types out the dot. So all right, see, so for just the domain alone and for the www, it's gonna point for our server. So if the user either types in www or just the normal domain, it will still work and it's gonna load the website. So that's basically what we're trying to do right here. So once that's done, we're all set. We can just start logging into the server and just... Alright, so once that's done, you're going to be receiving an email after you created the droplet. So just check your inbox and it should look like this. So it's going to give you the information of your server. The only thing we need is IP address and the random generated password. So to actually log into our server, we're actually going to use the terminal. Since I'm using macOS, you might not have this in Windows. So if you're using Windows, just click on your droplet and just click here, console. And for the rest of this video, just follow along using this instead. So just head over to the email, and we're gonna actually just type in SSH root at our IP address. So make sure not to share this with anyone, because they might try to like log into your server. You don't really want that. You should be the only one who knows your IP address. So just try to like make this discreet as discreet as possible. So this is the password that we actually currently have. So just copy and paste the password from the email, paste it in one more time, and then right here now you create your own password. So I'm just gonna create it for now. Let's see, that's a bit too short. All right, cool. So now we're logged in. Just type in clear. So we basically just like want to update the computer and then like install the most important stuff first. So the first thing we want to do is just update. So we're just gonna type in yum update. So it's just basically checking if there's any updates. So here's a list of updates. So all you want to just type in is type in Y and then press enter, then press enter. Yeah, just press enter, press yes and then enter for most of these. All right, so once it's finished, which you can tell because there's nothing else going on, now we basically have to restart the computer so the updates will be applied. So all you have to do is just type in reboot and it's just going to restart the computer. And just wait like around like half a minute and try to re-log in again. All right, so now we're going to do something pretty huge. We're going to install cPanel from scratch. So cPanel is basically the interface for us to configure the server, configure like multiple websites and stuff like that. So it's basically like a standardized interface for anyone to use. So let's just log in back to the server and type in your own password this time. All right, so cool. So we're gonna be using some commands. So don't worry, you only have to do this once, and you'll never have to like really use the terminal ever again. So we already updated the computer, so now we're just gonna install a programming language called Perl. Just press enter. Oh, whoops. Actually, you have to press yes. Be specific. All right, cool. So we installed Perl. Now we're gonna set up the name of our server. So it's basically this format. So just type in hostname. And for us, remember when we created the droplet, it was CentOS.JohnBrown.xyz. All right, cool. So we just we set up the name. Now we are gonna install two programs called Scream and wget. Install Screen wget. These programs are basically gonna it's gonna let us download cPanel, and this command right here is gonna download the entire suite. So we're just gonna copy and paste it. All right, cool. So so if you type in ls stands for list all the files on on our computer. So obviously we have the latest cPanel package, which is right here. And to make it to make it executable, we're gonna type in chmod plus x and type in latest. All right, so cool. You can see if it's highlighted green, that means that we can actually execute the program for it to install onto our computer. And now to actually run it, we're gonna type in bash latest. I know this might be a bit different, but don't worry, it'll still be the same. It'll still do the same thing. So just press enter. And this might take a really long time, so depending on your internet connection, this might take like an hour or two. But for me, it only took around like 30 minutes, so it won't take that long. All right, so once that's done, all you have to do is head over to actually before you do that, you would have to just copy and paste this link. Obviously for IP, you just want to type in your IP address of your server. So just copy and paste this inside, and we're just gonna copy our own IP right here. So there's a nice clipboard option that we can just choose, and just head on over to the link. So it might give you this like no HTTPS, but it's totally safe. You can just still log in. So just log in. And you might get this if you've done this before. For me, I already have a server. So it's obviously going to tell me like I have to purchase a cPanel license. But for you, it might give you like the interface. And it's going to give you like all these it's going to just give you like a setup. It's going to ask you for certain settings and stuff. And most of the time you just want to click on the default options. So if you need to buy a C license license, all you you would just go to buycpanel.com. So head on over to this website and just click on buy now. And you want to click on VPS monthly. And down here you just want to fill up the information, and you only need one set of licenses. So after you get your license, afterwards, just log right back in, and you should be able to start using cPanel. Alright, so once you purchase your cPanel account, now you actually want to log into cPanel. So so go back to the link that you had before and just log in as root. Type in your password. Alright, cool. So you have now you're introduced to the WHM interface. I'm going to be honest with you, I actually did not use all these settings. I only used like 5 or 4 or probably even less, because honestly you're just managing websites, so you don't really need all this information. And as of now, we're just gonna create the account for our domain. So just go on over to list accounts and click on create new account, and just type in your information. So for the domain it was John Brown. Type in your password, email, package is default, and the rest is technical jargon, so you don't really have to do any of this, and just click on create account. Awesome, so our account is created. So head on over to the top left corner and click on WHM and list your accounts in there, and it should be your account right there created. So now you want to click on cPanel. Cool, so our cPanel is created. So again, this is all information I don't really need. You'll learn this over time, or what you need. So you just want to, now we're just going to install WordPress. So just scroll down and click on WordPress Manager. We're going to install the website, so create new website, and we're going to click on show advanced configuration. And we're going to delete this because it actually messes up our permalink, so we don't really want to do that. And for our user, we're going to type in just the same thing, John Brown, and put in your password. Yeah, and that's it. So just click on install. Cool, so we installed our URL, so just click on home and just scroll all the way down and click on the manager again, and click on manage on your domain, and click on the admin tab and click on the admin URL. Cool, so let's just log in. John Brown. Let's see, John Brown, that should be right. Yeah, let me actually type in the I guess the email does work better. So here, cool, so we installed WordPress. And if you use WordPress before, you know how to set up the website, right? But if this is your first time, I'll show you like a brief introduction of how to make web pages, how to create blog posts and stuff. So yeah. All right, so some of you guys, if this is your first time creating a website, you might not have HTTPS enabled, and it's because you actually haven't configured it. And you actually don't have to buy like all these like certificates, SSL certificates that might cost you money. You have to pay for it every month or every year, which is actually pretty annoying. So, but for us, if we're using a VPS, we can actually use we can actually get HTTPS for free, which is totally cool. So in order to do that, it's a bit technical to set up, but don't worry, I'll do this with you. I'll show you how easy it is. So first thing you have to do is go to your not cPanel, go to WHM, and just go to the main page, and you want to type in auto SSL. Yeah, click it right there and click on manage users. Actually, before you guys do that, go to options and make sure let's encrypt is enabled, and you want to agree on the terms and conditions, and you want to click on save. Let me check if there's anything on the options. Yeah, I don't think you have to really configure right here. And for manage users, make sure make sure you have enabled auto SSL, and afterwards now we click on run auto SSL for all users. So now we actually have HTTPS, but we're not done quite yet, because we actually now have to tell like the links to actually go to HTTPS, which is a bit complicated, but don't worry. So now you want to go back to your cPanel account for your domain. So now you want, and then afterwards you want to click on the file manager. And this might be a bit complicated, but don't worry. This won't be too bad. So you want to click on settings, and make sure you have show hidden files. So we actually like can edit a hidden file inside our computer. So afterwards, just click on save. Cool. And then on the left hand sidebar, you want to click on public HTML, and you want to click on .htaccess. So we're going to edit this file. Click on edit, and we're going to copy and paste this code right here. It's going to tell like all the pages on our website to become SSL/HTTPS. So just copy and paste this onto the top, and click on save changes, and then click on close. And now when we go back to the website, we have HTTPS. So we can just click on the padlock, and our connection is secured. So definitely now it's a legit website. So thanks for watching this video. It really means a lot. So this was a huge series. So yeah, I'll talk to you later, and hopefully I'll create more content like this.